So this is what my hair looks like when it's unstyled and uncurled. As you can see, I have really straight hair, so there's really not anything it does. Um, it has a lot of short layers, and so if you have a haircut that has long ones, you may find it a little bit trickier to get the shape that my finished hairdo has. These layers really help to give volume at the top and stuff, but it can still work. It can definitely still work. It may just look a little different than mine. And I also, since I have naturally straight hair, a lot of times I do get perms. I don't have one right now because I cut out my last perm with my haircut, but I'm going to get one soon. And for me and my hair, what a perm does, it doesn't replace the need to pin curl. It actually just, I still pin curl it every night, but the pin curls stay longer. The next thing is that when I pin curl my hair, I do it when it's somewhat damp. I don't like to do it when it's super wet because a lot of times under layers won't dry fully enough even if you let it sit for a really long time. So I like to do it when it's damp. And so to simulate that, I'm going to spray my hair a bit to make it damp. Okay. So you can see it's pretty wet now. Um, got it damp, and basically what I do is I have a part right here that I just kind of use as like my focal point for when I'm pin curling. I do a side part, and essentially what I do is I treat my hair as if I'm making rows of pin curls that make like little U shapes going down, and each row will alternate the direction of the pin curl. And when you're done, this makes a lot of the waves that are in the front, and the alternating pin curl is what does that. So for the first section, I use about 1-inch squares of hair, more or less. And it can be tricky with short hair to be able to do pin curls, but if you practice, you can do it. Okay, so my first one, my first row, I will pin curl it, and I'm going to make it go away. So the direction of the pin curl is going to go like this way. So I pin curl it, which is a little tricky. And then I just lay it flat, and you can see the pin curl is going like this. That's the direction you want it to go for this row. Let me grab my bobby pin here. And then I just bobby pin it flat. So like that. Next one, same thing. Still doing the same thing. Going the same direction as the first one, away from the face. And I just pin it flat. And I find a good bobby pin. There you go. And stick it in. As you start to go around the corner, it gets a little bit difficult to visualize in your head which way the pin curl needs to go. But this is why I'm using a mirror right now, because it really helps me to figure out what the heck I'm doing and which direction I want my pin curl to go. But you know, when the pin curl, if you keep it going the same direction, on this side it's going to go away from my face. But then if you keep going that way, when it comes to this side, the curl is going to go this way. I think that'll make more sense when you see it. So I'm just going to keep pin curling. Okay, so I have my first row done, and you can see on this side it goes away from my face when it curls, and by the time it gets to this side it goes toward my face when it curls. But for the next row, I'll alternate the direction that the pin curl goes in. And so whereas this one started going back, I'm going to start the next row going forward. Like I said, this is kind of confusing at first, but once you kind of play around with it and get used to, seeing pin curls going in different directions and making them happen and trying to get your motor skills to work together with your brain, it's not hard. You don't need to worry about these being perfect because it's not a hairdo, it's just a pin curl set. It doesn't have to be perfect, you just want to try to make the curls smooth so that you don't have like dents or kinks in your hair that don't fit with the curl when you pull them out. So once I get down to the bottom, it gets really difficult to pin curl and to try to keep it in rows and stuff because my hair is so short. So by the time you get to that point, just pin curl what you can in whatever direction and it won't really make a difference in the end. Now I have all my pin curls done. They do not look perfect and they are not very pretty, but the goal is to curl your hair, not to make them look perfect, so it's going to be okay. After this point, this is where I hairspray the pin curls to death. The last thing I do is I cover my pin curls with a head wrap. And especially if you're going to sleep on your pin curls, you really want something like a scarf or a bandana to go over them just to help them stay in place while you're sleeping. And I like to use just cotton ones, especially if I'm going to sleep in it. If you're just wanting one for fashion to go on top during the day, you can use whatever. But at night, I like to use cotton ones that are just really simple triangles because the cotton lets your hair dry easily and it's comfortable and it won't slip around when you sleep. This is my keeping it simple, covering my pin curls head wrap that I'll do. And now I will just go throughout my day, or if it were evening, I would go to sleep and wait for them to dry. Alright, so I actually slept on my pin curls in this bandana, and now it's time to take them out. So first step, I obviously remove the scarf, and then for an extra measure, I re-hairspray. I use a lot of hairspray. I re-hairspray, and I just kind of let it sit there for a second to dry, and then I begin taking out all the pin curls, so that's what I'm going to do now. Okay, pin check. Okay, they're all out, and so now I will just kind of fluff, and this is where the brush out starts. Now I just am going to brush it out until it's giant. At this point, it looks unruly and a little weird. So this is where I start to do like the shaping of the waves on my bangs and make it look nice. On this side, I just basically comb back and down, and I make sure the bottom is fluffed up and that it all just lays right. You can use your hand too. I don't usually need to because my hair is shorter. Then on this side, I am going to kind of comb out the shape of my bangs. So I usually take just a bit from the front and I shape it to look right how I want. So I usually make like a little curl in the front. And sometimes it takes just some finagling, so just keep brushing and keep doing it until it works. Alright then. There we go. So this works well for me, this style. And then of course, for good measure, I re-hairspray it all, especially the curl in the front to make sure it really stays. Okay. Then I just smooth it all down. And I'm done. So there you go. This is my daily do. It takes time in the evening to pin curl it all, but in the morning it only takes a few minutes to brush out and it stays all day. I'd love to see if you try a pin curl set that's based on this style or similar to this style. I'd love to hear how it works for you. And if you've got any questions, feel free to comment below and I will do my best to answer them for you.